This is one of the most advanced cars ever built. But if it breaks, repairing it is not as simple as you might think. Ettore Bugatti's story begins in Milan, 1881, in a family where art and craft were inseparable. His father was a furniture designer, his grandfather a sculptor. Ettore did not train as an engineer in the traditional sense. Instead, he studied sculpture at the Fine Arts Academy in Brea, learning to see line, proportion, and balance the way a painter studies light. This artistic lens shaped every car he would ever build. By 1909, Bugatti had moved to Molsheim, Alsace, and opened a modest workshop of just 4,000 square meters. The workspace was more atelier than factory. Wooden frames, hand tools, and the steady rhythm of hammers and files set the tone. Ettore insisted on crafting each component himself, overseeing a small team of metal workers and coach builders who shared his obsession with perfection. Every part, from the slender spokes of a wheel to the rivets in the chassis, was treated as an individual work of art. Ettore's philosophy was simple. A car must be a moving sculpture. In a 1924 interview, he said that a car must be a work of art that moves. This was not just talk. The Type 35, his most celebrated creation, wore its beauty on its sleeve. The body panels were hand-formed over wooden bucks, each curve smoothed by artisans in a process that echoed brushstrokes on canvas. The original hand-hammered aluminum skin of the Type 35 still survives in the Molsheim Museum, its subtle imperfections a testament to the human hand. Inside the cars, no detail was too small. Hand-stitched leather seats, custom-etched copper radiators, and bespoke dashboard gauges became signatures of the Bugatti approach. Ettore demanded that every rivet serve both function and form. This ethos was passed down to his son, Chiron, who would later design the elegant Type 57 SC. Bugatti's pursuit of beauty was matched by a relentless drive for performance. He filed over 1,000 patents, many blending aesthetics with engineering. The hollow-spoke alloy wheels of the Type 35, for example, were not just lighter than steel, but visually distinctive. The 16-valve cylinder head in the Type 13 allowed a small engine to compete against much larger rivals, proving that grace and speed could coexist. The results spoke for themselves. In 1924 and 1925 alone, the Type 35 recorded 351 race victories, a record that remains almost mythical. The car's silhouette became instantly recognizable on circuits across Europe, its rhythmic engine note and flowing lines praised in newspapers as a symphony of brass and aluminum. Ettore's approach set the standard for what Bugatti would become, not just a manufacturer, but a curator of beauty and precision. The brand's DNA was forged in these early years, where hand-built perfection was more than a slogan, it was a daily practice. Every Bugatti since has carried this legacy, treating each component as a brushstroke on the canvas of speed. Bugatti's modern hypercars push mechanical limits with a rigor that transforms tradition into a technical spectacle. The Veyron and Chiron are engineered around an 8-liter W16 engine, an architecture found nowhere else in production cars. This powerhouse produces 1,500 PS in the Chiron, channeling its force through 4 turbochargers arranged in 2 pairs. Each turbo operates in a carefully staged sequence, smoothing out the immense surge of power and minimizing lag. The result is acceleration that feels almost unnatural, yet remains precisely controlled, a testament to the brand's fixation on detail. Harnessing this much energy creates extraordinary demands. Each turbocharger generates over 60 kilowatts of heat, requiring a cooling system that borders on industrial. 8 radiators, more than 60 meters of high-grade hose, and a network of high and low temperature circuits. These systems protect the engine from thermal stress with tolerances so fine that a 0.2 millimeter misalignment in a coolant pipe can trigger hot spots and accelerate metal fatigue. Bugatti uses laser interferometry and coordinate measuring machines to confirm that every component fits within microscopic margins, because even the smallest deviation can threaten the entire system. The carbon fiber monocoque that envelops this machinery is no less exacting. Both the Veyron and Chiron rely on a structure cured in an autoclave at 180 degrees Celsius and 6 bar of pressure. Hundreds of layers of carbon prepreg are fused into a seamless chassis, measured to within 1/10 of a millimeter for thickness and 1/2 millimeter for surface flatness. Any flaw means starting over. The carbon monocoque is not just a shell. It is the car's backbone, dictating handling, rigidity, and crash safety. Every major system is interdependent. The 7-speed dual-clutch transmission must handle up to 1,600 Newton-meters of torque without hesitation. Carbon ceramic brakes are engineered to repeatedly stop the car from over 400 kilometers per hour without fading. Even the electronics, engine control units, active aerodynamics, and diagnostic sensors are custom-built, communicating over encrypted data buses to synchronize every action to millisecond precision. Such complexity is not just about speed or luxury. It is about control over materials, processes, and ultimately the boundaries of what is possible. When tolerances are measured in microns, the margin for error disappears. A single misstep can ripple through the entire machine, making repair or adjustment a matter of absolute expertise. Inside a Bugatti authorized service center, the atmosphere is more laboratory than garage. Only 8 of these centers exist worldwide, each staffed by technicians who have completed years of proprietary training. The entry point for every repair is a digital authentication process. Before a single bolt is turned, the technician scans a 2-dimensional barcode etched onto the replacement part. This barcode encodes the part's serial number, production batch, and a cryptographic link to the car's unique VIN. The Bugatti Service Interface, a secure digital platform, checks the data and verifies that the component is authorized for use on that specific vehicle. If the scan fails, the part cannot be installed. No exceptions. Every critical system is locked behind proprietary tooling. The torque wrenches used to fasten the W16's 1,200 Newton-meters clutch bolts are calibrated to tolerances within 0.05 Newton-meters and are only available to certified technicians. Even routine procedures require specialized equipment. Recalibrating the active aerodynamics or the 7-speed dual-clutch transmission demands a factory-issued diagnostic laptop running Bugatti's encrypted service software. Without this, software updates, sensor resets, and brake-by-wire calibrations are impossible. After any major component replacement, the car enters a mandatory 48-hour calibration lock-in. The technician initiates a secure handshake with the factory's calibration server in Molsheim. During this period, the car is immobilized and cannot be driven. Only after the server pushes a signed firmware hash to the vehicle's ECU is the system unlocked and the repair certified. This workflow ensures that every Bugatti on the road conforms to factory standards. But it also means that independent shops are locked out at every turn. The system, elegant in its precision, is absolute in its exclusivity. Mat Armstrong's shop is a world away from the clinical order of Molsheim. Here, the challenge is not just one of skill, but of access and time. When Mat attempted to revive a crashed Bugatti Chiron Pure Sport, he faced a wall of digital and mechanical barriers. The first problem came with the parts. Every major component, rear subframes, brake calipers, even small brackets, was locked behind Bugatti's VIN-linked ordering system. Requests for official parts were denied, with the manufacturer citing safety and intellectual property. Mat turned to 3D scanning and CNC machining, spending months recreating complex pieces that, for most cars, could be ordered with a phone call. The next hurdle was digital. Connecting a generic OBD2 scanner to the Chiron's onboard diagnostics, Mat found the ECU locked down by proprietary software. Each attempt to flash or reset the system triggered error codes, documented on camera, sometimes immobilizing the car entirely. The Bugatti service interface, required for any real recalibration, is only available to technicians at one of 8 authorized centers worldwide. Even after painstaking mechanical work, his Chiron remained in limbo, unable to pass the digital handshake required for full operation. Parts that did become available arrived after months of waiting. Lead times stretched from weeks to nearly a year, especially for components with unique serial numbers and 2D barcodes that must be verified against the car's VIN. Legal pressure followed. Cease and desist letters warned that any non-authorized repair could void the vehicle's type approval, making it illegal to drive on public roads. A legal expert points to the EU's trend toward broader right to repair, but notes that low-volume hypercar makers like Bugatti remain largely exempt. For Mat, every step forward required a workaround, a compromise, or a fight with the system. The result is a car that may look whole, but remains an outsider, caught between the dream of ownership and the reality of control. Today, a Bugatti is more than a machine. It is a statement of exclusivity maintained by design. As independent innovators challenge these boundaries, the real question becomes, who controls the future of ownership? In a world obsessed with access, the gatekeepers still hold the keys. Share your perspective below.